Don't worry, I'm just as confused as you are why I'm doing a video on Atic Atac. What a stupid name for a game, but this whole game is made by Rare back in like 1983, and I can just picture like my dad or like some of your dad or your mom back in the day thinking they're all edgy, wearing like those big sunglasses of the 80s, going in with their popped red leather jackets, walking in there and like, oh, check out the graphics in this game, bruh, it's the 80s, bruh, Stranger Things and shit, bruh. I don't know, it's just in my head, I just picture them, they're like, check out these graphics. You know, the Atari can't do nothing like this. You remember Snake and Pong? They have nothing on this game, dude. And then they start sucking each other off in the bathroom, and then like the girls are just like slamming their heads into each other's clits and then scissoring and stuff all over the graphics in this game right here. And if I feel like I'm doing a little bit much, I probably am, because this game is goofy as crap. Now, this game's set up kind of like a dungeon crawler. I mean, like it's obviously not a modern dungeon crawler because it was made in the 80s. There's nothing modern about this game. And if you're wondering where I played it, it's on the Rare Replay thing on Xbox. I decided I wanted to play a bunch of these old games, see if they hold up, see what they're all about. And when I started this game, it gives you 3 different options. You can play as a fucking Smurf, which whatever it's called, like Surf or something, I don't know. You can play as a knight or a wizard. Now, you can see right here I'm playing as the wizard. He's got a little fucking ball of bullshit that he flings at him. It's basically that he's just grabbing his shaft by his super strength and then just plowing out like giant splurges on each one of his enemies. And the way the attacking works in this game is you ricochet off the walls and it bounces around and kills shit. And enemies consistently always flood in on top of you, which is kind of my biggest gripe with the game. Now, I understand that these games were made to eat your quarters, to eat your ass out of money. That was what their job was. They would toss your money salad. So constantly being bombarded by enemies is a good way to get you to lose the game. Now, the way it works is you run around the environments going room to room and picking up shit and then opening gates and then progressing through each little dimension. Now, when I started as the wizard, I was like, usually mage is the easiest class in games. Well, in this game, that is not true. The easiest class in this game is a knight, and eventually when we get to some knight gameplay, you'll see why. I mean, the wizard's not bad. His little ball of cum that he flails around the environment seems to clear up people okay, and I do think it's kind of cute when you die. Wherever you died, it will leave a gravestone there, and I'm like, that's kind of neat, and it looks all 3D and stuff, which was real gimmicky for the time. I mean, obviously, this is a very 2D game. You can look at it, it's giving out the illusion of 3D, but it's not true 3D. It's kind of doing to your eyes what Doom ended up doing, because if you didn't know, Doom is not a 3D game. It's a 2.5D looking game. It's just 2D you're scrolling through 2D images to make it work. And this game kind of does that same thing. I mean, it's a flat dynamic lines that give you that illusion, and sometimes that's all you need. I mean, it's like when you drink too much and you start hitting on a chick and you're like, damn, she's hot, and you wake up the next morning and she's like 75, got arthritis, she's also got a bit of Parkinson's, so she's shaking, and the whole bed seems like it's a vibrator. She's only got like 3 teeth left, and there's enough of the teeth messed up to where she can't even wear dentures. Looks all sorts of like the creep show from the show Creepshow, and you're like, whoa, last night I thought you were Jessica Alba, and she's like, I am, and you run out of there as fast as you can, leaving all of your shit. You have to get a new ID, credit card, passport. You just had all that in your pocket. But that's the type of illusion this game brings. It seems like it's 3D, and believe me, I was lost in this illusion for an endless amount of time. Like, look at the cool axe that this knight throws. And this is why the knight is the most OP class. The area of damage that this axe does compared to everyone else, you really don't have to worry about things as much as the other 2 classes. This class just seems to mollywop everything. And when you do get into a room and you want to progress to the next one and the door's closed, the main thing you do in there is wait and clear until this door opens and then run through. Every once in a while you will find these monsters. Now, there is a way to kill them. You have to find the right items and stuff. I didn't find any of that in this playthrough, but I looked up some guides on how to do it, and dear God, does this game Get deep. Get real deep in there. I want you to get down on your knees. Crawl through it. Really experience whatever load it puts inside of you. I mean, it has a lot of depth. You run through each like little area you run through, and then you're like, okay, I need the red key. Where am I gonna get the red key? Have I tried this door? And there's a lot of times where you feel completely lost and have no idea what's going on, and it kind of runs in the favor of this game because you get in this cycle, and then the sound design here. You've been hearing it the whole time. I purposely didn't put music in this video so that you can hear the. I like that. I don't know. It was something that just was mesmerizing about this experience. I'm not the type of person that's going to put hours and hours and hours into this, but I put a couple hours into it trying to experience a little bit of what it had, and I was just mesmerized by the sound design. I was mesmerized by the little things that pop up on screen and the bright colors. And it goes back to, I know that my parents or whoever were of their generation were going in and they were like, oh, dude, this is so cool. Never have I ever seen anything that is this revolutionary. To look at it now, it looks like a retro, bad indie game. Like, it looks like something that somebody would try to shovel out on the App Store and call it and then put it underneath a TikTok eventually so that they can get some clout and break those little Zoomer brains that people have. They're like, oh, I can't listen to dialogue or watch a video and not have gameplay underneath it. This is the type of game you would see underneath it. It feels like a bad mobile game of today's day and age, but at this time when it came out, this was kind of revolutionary stuff. It's crazy to think that they could do what they could do at this time period, considering their computers were like two old guys creating friction by rubbing each other's nipples as hard as they could, and then once they spurg out, you get enough energy just to put one pixel on screen, and that's what this game is. That's the type of stuff they had to deal with at the time, and it's kind of crazy that gaming went from being like this weird niche thing that some dude was working for NASA, and he was like, I wonder if I can make this into a game where I shoot asteroids, and then all of a sudden the world starts this huge slide into gaming, and it goes from Pong to this to, I mean, we're getting Dragon's Dogma 2 this year. How crazy the development cycle of the how games have ran its course. It's just something that even though I want to kind of poo-poo on this game for being old and dated, it controls too well for me to do that because it's a very well-controlling game, even by today's standards. I mean, I've played a ton of retro games where halfway through it, oh, and this is the Smurf douchebag. Doesn't he look like a little Smurf with a sword? Just so fucking cute. It's like, oh, I have a little sword. I'm gonna titty fuck you with a sword. I don't know. It's cute. But it's just crazy to think that we got to this level from here. It's just something to look back and be like, oh, well, neat. And then the way it controls, like I was saying, just really fluid. And I played a lot of retro games. That's what I was getting at. I got all sorts of fucking tangents going on here. But I play all sorts of retro games. And a lot of the games from the 64 era, they become impossible to control. And it was such a nightmare because of how experimental they were. But at this time period, they'd almost had found a key to way it make it work. They were like, we have a joystick, we have two buttons, fucking full send, we have to make it work. Other games are making it work on the same system, we have to compete with those. So this was like a full-fledged, stylistic, a better gameplay for this time period. It's weird to think that how retro that is, though. But I thought this was a fun look to the past, and I'll probably do another couple videos like this. What do you think? What do you think of me doing videos like this? Leave it in the comments down below. Let me know if you liked it, if you didn't like it. Subscribe to my channel, dislike it. I don't really care. I just make these videos to enjoy myself and hope somebody else gets a little enjoyment out of it. So thank you for going down the lane of video game history for a little bit, taking about 10 minutes out of your day to really learn something. I mean, I don't know if you learned anything other than old men rubbing each other's nipples and wizards can sometimes turn their splooge into superpowers. Maybe I don't. I feel like sometimes I'm really insightful and other times I'm just crude jokes. It's a fine line that I don't know when I'm crossing or not. But I'll catch you guys on the next one. Love you. Out.